So after laying the vinyl onto the vehicle where we want it to lay, like I mentioned earlier, as naturally to the shape of the vehicle as possible when we take the liner off and begin the application. Now, to do that with something sticking out of the vehicle this far, we're going to need to trim around it. As you can see here, I've used just a red marker, or you can use a grease pencil to draw out my cut. I always like to draw the cut first so that I'm exactly sure, taking my squeegee, pushing it up against the edge of where I want the final cut to be absolutely sure where my knife cut needs to go. So I've left about 1/4 of an inch from the final trim spot in my cut. It's always better to be able to go back and cut 2 or 3 times instead of selling yourself short by cutting too much off. So even when I did my cut, as you can see here, I cut on the inside of my line. Again, just giving myself a little bit of extra to play with later. As I've drawn up here, you can see the corners. Eventually we're going to need to cut this open so that it will just fall on either side. Right now I'm leaving it together so that this is a little bit more stable. So when I'm doing this application, the vinyl is a little more rigid and stable. But eventually I will need to cut it. And instead of cutting in a straight line, I cut in curves. The reason for that is the vinyl is less likely to fold over on itself. It's much more, it's a lot stronger if it's cut in a curve like this. So I've just drawn those to be able to show you that. So